premature. We are still early in that, so I can't say what the Commission will ultimately do. It will all depend on, we have to complete all our consultations first, listen to every single state, and then apply our minds to the various factors that should be or that can be considered. But it's certainly something that so past commissions have also looked at, because how much the states are helping themselves. Even starting from the first Finance Commission, it made that comment, if you go back and read their report, that how much the states are helping themselves ought to be an issue as well.
Sir, myself, Tushar Acharya from ANI. Sir, my one question is...
Sorry, where are you?
Sir, myself. The question is, what your commission has found in comparison, development in comparison of the last report of the commission?
In terms of development?
In terms of changes,
states and
notable changes.
Yeah.
And one more question is that, sir, how close is your expectation with the share of the state of Tripura? Thank you.
So, no, I can't say anything about the share of Tripura because I can't say anything about this share of any other state either, because that's a decision which will is a difficult one, as you can imagine. This thing, and you must have, if you're reading up the newspapers, there many of the states, richer states are saying that a lot of diversion of what we actually generate as revenue is being done to the poorer states, and also these are all contentious issues. So to that I can't say very much. What the share of Tripura would be. As regards the development of Tripura, that's generally not the center of discussion for the commissions, because we are more interested in the financial side, how the finances have been shaping up, about which I spoke already. I can give you my own observation on Tripura, so it's not a comparison of what 15 said or what 16, but as an economist, so generally Tripura is a well-managed state. One of the very interesting features of Tripura is that this state now is much less dependent on agriculture, at least in terms of the workforce. Nationally, about 45-46% of the workforce in India is in agriculture. Tripura is close to about 30-31%. So that, when we think of economic transformation, one of the things we think is, how much the urbanization is happening and how much the transition out of agriculture into industry and services is happening. Because generally, the productivity, labor productivity output per worker in agriculture tends to be lower than in industry and services. So there is an effort, therefore, there is an underlying objective that the workforce be moved out of agriculture into industry and services. On that transition, certainly Tripura is farther along than India is, but it also, because of the other disadvantages, its per capita income is still a little bit lower than the average of India. But it seems to be catching up. So in general, I read the situation in Tripura very positively and optimistically. And particularly when also we compare with the other northeastern states, Tripura is certainly coming along quite well.
Will your last question? Yes, this is Kiran Govi from Research Today. Sir, what about the possibilities to get more fund under disaster mitigation as the state Tripura comes under Zone 5?
So we had discussion on it, and particularly issues of flood were highlighted by the government of Tripura. At the same time, of course, Tripura also said that they have developed a very good system of dealing with floods, and there is a kind of disaster management center where they can monitor the situation in real time and all. So in any case, it did make its pitch on that front. That part of it has to do with certain kinds of certain forms of disasters which were included in by the 15th Finance Commission in its devolution. It used an index called disaster relief index, DRI, and there are different states have said that that index doesn't fully capture their specific situation, and that's something that Tripura government also said. So we are certainly looking. We are open to including other forms of disaster which afflict the states but are not a part of the DRI currently. But for us, the challenge also is that we have to have the data on which there will not be on which there will be general agreement, and they are available for all the states, because in the horizontal devolution we have to first have the reliable data, and we have to have those data for all the states for inclusion. So we are open. We have also asked the state to give us some further feedback on that issue.
Yeah, please. So this last question. I am Provish. My question is that there have been claim and counter claims over the pay structure of the state. During the finance commission, they are the type of central cities. Now they are expecting whether they will get a central cities money. And they expect that this 60 finance project will give government sufficient funds so that they can get salary and part of the
So in its presentation, the government of Tripura does mention the fact of the Earth Finance Commission having been appointed, and in its calculations of expenditures, it has included one line for states give the commission also their estimates of revenues and expenditures, and then whatever is the shortage of revenues that is left over, which is not covered by the estimated expenditures for the years of the award. So likewise, Tripura government has given us in its memorandum its estimates of revenues and expenditures for the years 2026-27 to 2030-31, which is the award period of the 16th Finance Commission. And in estimating the expenditures for that, it has included a line also on the impact that this 8th Pay Commission may have on its expenditures. So it isn't there. What will be the decision of the 16th Finance Commission remains to be seen. As I have said before, that's something that I can't tell you anything about.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman and members of the Commission. You have taken our time to give the media. I would also like to thank all the media persons who have gathered here in the
Thank you.
কি করছো?
এই ভাবছি আমাদের ইন্টারনেট সার্ভিস প্রোভাইডার চেঞ্জ করব। মাসে মাসে এত টাকা খরচ যাচ্ছে, নেটের স্পিড